What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3 FES. Last time, we had a meeting to basically discuss where our current positions are in terms of Ryoji's decision. We all came to the conclusion that we're not ready yet to give an answer, but that we can't just keep moping around at the dorm. And so, we can finally head back into Tartarus. In this episode, we are going to be doing a bit of a Tartarus trek. We've already reached the barrier, so there's no point in, doing much progression in terms of that. But there are some new requests that have opened up now that the full moon has passed. And now that we can go back to Tartarus, we can actually do those. Let's see, for one, we've got another Elizabeth date. And this time, she wants to visit our room. Well, we can't exactly do anything about that at Tartarus. But these are two more new requests that have opened up to us now. Getting 3 sands of time and 3 rainbow hairs. Since we've already reached the barrier, we can very easily go and get these items. Let's see, so defeating the Daring Gyguses, that's just anywhere in the upper section of the 5th block. And then from 202 to 210. So that's primarily where we're going to be focusing on. Aside from that, that's it. Okay. So really, that's the only reason why I came to the Velvet Room. Not gonna do any fusions yet. There are a few personas that we can fuse, but they're special spreads, and I kind of need space. So it wouldn't be a bad thing for me to gain, like, a level or two. So, for this Tartarus trek, I'm gonna bring along Junpei, Mitsuru, and Akihiko. Today we're going with a full backup party this time. Aigis is still out of commission, and Yukari decided not to come with us. Primarily because exams are coming up and she needs to study. So we're just going to go with the alternate party members for this Tartarus trek. Try to get them up a few levels. I don't really see a reason to raise up Koromaru, so we're just gonna be focusing on this bunch. Before we get going, hey Akihiko. That is not the button to talk to Akihiko. Well, actually, yes it is, but he's too close to the teleporter. Hey Akihiko. I've got something for ya. See, Line Sandals, evade ice, which, that's actually a good effect on him. I want to give someone the Shoes of Bane. I don't think Mitsuru's is... I'm pretty sure hers is also high stumble. Reduce stumble low. You know, that's a big jump in evasion, so... I'd be willing to go with that. Here you go, Junpei. Yeah, seriously. Alright, so... primarily... we will just need to stab every shadow we see, because we do need to find those perpetual sands. But I'm mostly going to try to find where those red shadows are. Now, thankfully, this also gives me a chance to talk about some recent personas that have opened up to us. And the first of these personas is Chidori's persona, Medea. Now, Medea was a sorceress, but she was also very high in terms of nobility and in terms of her ancestry. Medea was the daughter of King Aetes of Kalk. She was also the granddaughter of Helios, the sun god, and the wife of Jason. Now, her story revolves very much around Jason and the quest of the Golden Fleece. Since where Jason's ultimate destination of where the Golden Fleece was, was in colic. Now, when Medea first saw Jason, she immediately fell in love with him. She then met with Jason and promised to help him acquire the fleece if, in exchange, Jason took her to be his wife. And ultimately, Jason agreed, since getting the fleece would have been very difficult, if not impossible, to do otherwise.
My skills have improved.
Good job, Akihiko. Ooh, Okajimonji. I'm not sure if I've already gotten that spear before. Oh well, whatever. It's worth checking. Now, some of the tasks that Jason was required to do by Medea's father included, like, yoking oxen who could also breathe fire. He also needed to claim the Golden Fleece itself, which was being guarded by a dragon. So yeah, the type of task that Jason was asked to do was pretty much bordered on impossible. But through Medea's magic, he was able to successfully claim the fleece. Now, when Jason returned to Peleus, who is the king of Eoclis, who, by the way, was the one who sent Jason on this whole trek of the Golden Fleece in the first place, he had originally promised Jason to give him the throne if Jason could return with the Golden Fleece. Jason succeeded, and Peleus didn't keep up his end of the bargain. So naturally, Jason was a little bit upset. But Medea had a plan in order to basically get Peleus out of the way. Partially, this ties into the Greeks' belief of fate, since it was foretold that Peleus would die to a man with one sandal, which was how he first met Jason, was that Jason was only wearing one sandal. So Peleus was very much afraid of this, and it does somewhat tie into his overall fate. Now, what Medea did was that she managed to get an audience with Peleus' daughters, and promised to show them a ritual of rejuvenation.
Ta-da-da-da! I'm the man!
Good job, Junpei.
My skills have improved.
Good job, Akihiko. Now, this ritual that Medea devised included chopping up an old ram into very tiny pieces and throwing it in a cauldron filled with some sort of liquid or potion or something of the nature.
My skill level has increased.
Good job, Mitsuru. Now, the trick with this little demonstration was the fact that Medea had hidden a young ram in this potion as well. And when the pieces of the old ram were thrown into the cauldron, the new ram jumped out. Naturally, the daughters were really enthusiastic that they could make their father young again. So after the demonstration, they immediately went to their father and cut him up into tiny little bitty pieces to throw into Medea's concoction.
Ta-da-da-da! Junpei is leveled up!
Good job, Junpei. Naturally, Peleus died and the potion didn't work, since it was all just a ruse to begin with. Due to the technicalities, though, with how the throne is supposed to be abdicated, Jason still didn't get the throne, but regardless, he was able to move to Corinth with Medea, along with their 5 sons and their daughter. Now, you'd think that that would be a sweet end to the story then in that case, if a little brutal. But unfortunately, Medea's tale continues. Now, there are variations of how Medea's story ends, but this is the most common. what happens is that Jason is offered by the King of Corneth the hand of the princess, what was it? Gloss. He was offered her hand in marriage. Keep in mind, he's been married to Medea for many years now. And since, you know, she's a princess, Jason agrees to the offer and leaves Medea. Medea is, very understandably, extremely upset.
Ta-da-da-da! I'm the man!
Good job, Junpei.
My skills have improved.
Good job, Akihiko. Now, what Medea did was that she gave Glaus a poison dress and coronet, basically designed so that when she put on both things, they would burn her skin and it would ultimately kill her. And it worked. She put on the dress and the coronet and it very much burned her, and she died. In fact, it worked so well, it also killed her father. Glaus's father tried to get the dress off her, and in doing so, ensured his own death. Now, since Medea technically committed regicide, the people of Corneth were not exactly pleased. They eventually found out what happened to the king, and they managed to track down two of Medea's sons who helped her create the poison, and they killed them. Now, not exactly satisfied with destroying or humiliating Jason, she killed two of her own sons in revenge against Jason. Their fifth son, who wasn't killed by either Medea or the people of Corneth, managed to escape, and admittedly, I couldn't find any information about what happened to her daughter. However, after her vengeance had been sated, she makes probably one of the most badass exits I think I have ever read. How she leaves Corneth is the fact that golden chariots come down from the sky that are driven by dragons. She gets on the chariot and flies off to somewhere else to live out the rest of her days. Yeah, if I could think of some exit, that would be a pretty good one to have. So that is the story of Medea, but we have yet another persona to go over, and that's Trismegistus. Trismegistus is commonly seen as a combination of the Greek god Hermes, and also, a carbon jacket, and the Egyptian god Thoth. Since both gods were very similar and both cultures were also pretty close to each other, they shared a lot of similarities. For example, both Hermes and Thoth were gods of writing, magic, and helped guided souls in the afterlife. So it was natural that some people would make a distinction that, hey, these are very similar to each other. Perhaps they are, in fact, one and the same. However, this wasn't a very commonly held belief. Many Greek and Romans, well, Romans later on, when they adopted Greek culture, they established these two gods as two distinct beings. So it wasn't something that was very common, but it was something that was prevalent around the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Now, Trismegistus actually has a bit of meaning in and of itself. The name means thrice great.
My skill level has increased.
Good job, Mitsuru.
My skills have improved.
Good job, Akihiko. Also, that last fight kind of took a little bit out of us. Now, what exactly does it mean, thrice great? Thrice great basically describes what Trismegistus was best known for, meaning he was perfect in 3 areas. These 3 areas were alchemy, astrology, and magic.
Da-da-da-da! Junpei is leveled up!
Good job, Junpei. Ooh, slash repeller. I wonder what that does. Although, that's interesting. I almost never get accessories from regular chests. Before we get going into more about Trismegistus, yo, Junpei. I think I've got something you'll like. Let's see, resist strike, medium. Well, let's see. Actually, your winter outfit's pretty good. I keep forgetting Circle does that. But Akihiko, you're wearing your summer outfit. Yeah, and that's nowhere near as good. Plus, your defenses aren't as great as Junpei, so... Here you go. Alright, now back to Trismegistus. Like I said, his following was primarily centered around the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Uh-oh. And it's all gold shadows. Okay, I really don't care at this point, so... Okay. I don't think I've ever actually caught up to a gold shadow when it was fleeing like that, but hey! Go me! So anyway, with Trismegistus, primarily, his following created, I guess, somewhat of its own religion. Sort of like a religion for academia and scholars. This revolved around a set of writings known as the Hermetica, and its followers were known as to be followers of Hermeticism. Sorry, I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible because I don't want the Reaper to show up. Now, the Hermetica is actually a series of dialogues from a master to a student. And it's very commonly held that the master is actually Trismegistus. And what these writings entail deal with 2 different fields. They deal with philosophy as well as how to utilize spells and incantations. So people who follow this book used it for both purposes, for philosophy and of magic. Now, like I said, Hermeticism primarily revolved around the 2nd and 3rd century. However, there was a revival of this way of thinking in the time of the Renaissance, and it was particularly interesting to alchemists. It is these alchemists that divided the Hermetica into its philosophical and its more magical distinctions. So that is pretty much everything that there is to know about Trismegistus. There aren't really any distinctions about him. There are a few different references here and there in different ancient texts that do bring him up, but he's more of a footnote in those types of cases rather than an actual deity. So that pretty much sums up both Medea and Trismegistus. Now I know there's one other being that I should go over, but I'll save that for another Tartarus exploration. So we've gone pretty far, but we still haven't gotten all the things that we need for either of Elizabeth's requests. So I'm just gonna keep on going and try to fulfill those requests. As per usual, if anything important happens, I'll show it to you guys. And if not, I'll meet you at the ground floor of Tartarus when I'm done.
Ta-da-da-da! I'm the man!
My skills have improved.
Yes, yes, yes! My skill level has increased!
Well, that was unexpected. Although, it's been a while since I've last seen a gold chest. What do you have, my little friend? Ooh! Ote Guinea. Or Guinea. Ote Guinea. Hey, Ken! I am more than certain this is better than the Ota Jumonji. Let's see. Famously beautiful spear. Plus 5 to endurance. Plus an additional 10 attack. Ooh. Here you go, Ken. No problem. I kind of wish it was a weapon for like Yukari or Aegis, but you know what? It's still a weapon, so I can't really complain too much. Ooh. Kiss of Athena. I don't think Aegis has that gun. Oh, and another carbon jacket. Yo, Ken. You're just getting all the equipment this episode. I've got something for you. Ooh, plus 3 to magic. Wait a minute. Hold up. What type of carbon jacket do I have? Because I could really benefit from that. Resist electricity. I'll go ahead and give myself the magic. And then Ken can have the one that resists electricity. He's neutral to electricity, so it at least helps him a little bit. You're welcome. And there you are! Do you know how long I've been looking for you? Well, probably about like 5 minutes or so since I actually began the cut or whatever. But still, you kept me waiting.
Ta-da-da-da! Junpei is leveled up!
My skills have improved.
Yes, yes, yes! My skill level has increased!
Good job, guys. Okay, I was really half expecting Fuka to say, "Be careful, I sense death!" And it's like, oh shoot, everyone leveled up, now let's get out of here. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. Even still, we got what we came for. So, how is everyone's stats looking like now? Mitsuru's now at level 60, which is partially why I substituted her out. Junpei's 58, Akihiko's 59, and Ken's 58. Okay, so everyone, the backup party's pretty much caught up to the main party. I think Koromaru's a little bit on the low side. He might be the lowest level of the main party. And I'm level 68. So, yeah, I think the backup party's pretty much caught up to where the main party is. So that's good. But I'm not here to talk about the main party and the backup party. I'm here to turn in some quests. Hey, Elizabeth, I've got some things for you. Doesn't it still have the properties of time? Well, I guess if time doesn't exist, then, whatever. For that, we get Charun's Hammer. Wait, what? Wait. 3 rainbow hair. Did I not get one from that last fight? I thought I did. I thought for sure that I got one of those. Did I get a gem instead? Shoot, I must have just gotten a gem. Well, crap. Okay, I guess I'm heading back into Tartarus because I apparently didn't get the item that I needed from those jerks. Welp! I guess the backup party's getting even more experience then. Alright, now I've got all the rainbow hairs that I need. I did make sure I actually got it from the one that I killed. So Elizabeth, I got the other thing that you requested. I thought I had it with me before, but I have it with me now. If I'd have to guess, I'd guess extensions. Or maybe a wig. For that, we get the Omega Drive. So now I'm gonna go ahead and register all my personas. Are there any other requests that opened up to us now? Does not appear so. So we still need Lilith with Mabufudine, which I think we're just one level shy from being able to do that. Platinum medals, the Elizabeth date, and Last Judge. Okay. So there's nothing more that we can do in the quest department. However, I would like to try to do a few more fusions. As you can see, there's at least one persona that we can at least make now. So give me a little bit while I see what we have available to us. And I'll show you guys what it is that I'm going to try to fuse. I'm not a fan of Ghastly Whale, but the rest of those seem pretty good. So we are fusing away Harditi and Thanatos in order to fuse Abaddon. He's gonna be a pretty powerful persona. So let's see what other skills you learn. Let's see. Ooh, Null Strike. That's not a bad skill. Oh, he learns Null Slash anyway. He could have potentially obtained that. I'm glad I didn't pass that down. Zeodyne. No. I'd like him to keep Zeodyne. Let's see. Null Slash. To be honest, that's not a bad combination. But I also don't like Ghastly Whale. Ooh, and Null Pierce. Sweet! I actually have a persona that nulls all physical. All physical attacks. That makes high counter useless, but hey. At least it's, oh, well, actually, that's a pierce attack, so. And high counter is just good to have in general. Let's get rid of Evil Smile. Why is that there? And Absorb Strike. Oh my. Okay. So if I ever encounter another Tartarus boss which just exclusively uses physical moves, I've got my persona. Well, I didn't want to pass down a Lekamp, but it's kind of hard to beat the rest of those skills. So we are fusing away Trumpeter, Loki, and Anubis in order to fuse Yolinger. It's a giant two-ended snake. Not only that, it's a rainbow snake. So what other skills does Yolinger get? He gets Ice Amp, which is nice considering he's pretty much an ice persona at this point. Growth 3, which isn't that. Ooh, Mediarahan! That is really nice. Getting rid of you. And Same Rakarm? Ooh, okay, with growth 3, I don't even need to train him in order for him to get Same-Rakarm. That is awesome. I think this can work. So we are fusing away Genbu, Seiryu, Suzaku, and Byakko in order to fuse Koryu. A very powerful persona indeed, especially since he has Medirahan and Same-Rakarm. And he also has an item. So it looks like we have yet another persona that we are kind of obliged to raise. Still, since we've maxed out the Hierophant Arcana, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think Koryu is the ultimate form of the Hierophant Arcana. He'll at least gain a lot of experience from doing this. Okay, well I don't need Mediarama. Ooh, Makarkarn. Let's see, what do I want to get rid of for that? I really don't like Weary Thrust because even though it's a pretty powerful move, to get the full effect you need to be tired, which is something I try to avoid. Tarunda I can still see as being helpful, especially against single bosses, so I'll just have him keep that, huh? Something's about to happen to Counter-Strike. You know, sure, why not? Counter-Strike became Null Shock. That's not exactly a helpful skill. In fact, I'd rather have Null Strike, so hey. At least there's again. Tarunda. Well, that would have been the other skill that I wouldn't have mind seeing transform. Maybe I'll be better the second time around. Nope! Not even close. At least I know the skill that I'm gonna get rid of once he's able to learn Null Pierce. To be honest, I don't think I'm really gonna get much better than this. Which is unfortunate, but hey, it's not exactly a persona I was planning on using. So we're fusing away Omoikane, Takeminakata, Okuninushi, and Kikuri Hime in order to fuse Arahabaki. Well, not all personas have to be used for combat. Thank goodness it doesn't have an item. Its animation's pretty cool, though. Okay, so it knows alertness. I think that means, yeah, lowers the chance of actually having a first strike on us. So let's get rid of Provoke. Ooh, Tetrakarn. That might not be a bad thing. I think this may be the first persona that has Tetrakarn. I've seen Makarakarn, but I don't think I've seen Tetrakarn. I suppose I can get rid of Virus Breath. Ooh, Repel Ice. No, but she's not gonna learn it, though. Oh, well. Still halfway decent with the spells it learned, I guess. Alright, well, I think that's every persona we can possibly fuse at our current level. There's actually a fair number that are just like one level apart from each other. But I think that will do it for our fusing escapades, at least for the time being. In terms of money, I'm pretty much down to where my reserve is. But I did manage to get some items, so I should be able to recuperate at least a little bit of that. At least the next time I can head on over to the store. So that will do it for this episode. We managed to get all of the requests taken care of, and we bolstered up the alternate party to match pretty closely to the main party. So, go us! So, next time on Let's Play Persona 3 FES. Well, we've still got quite a bit of time before Ryoji shows up again. And we still need to come to a decision. Maybe we'll find the answer through hanging out with our social links. But, unfortunately, we've also got exams to deal with, so... Yay! Until next time, everyone. Take care.